Hello, you may call me PS2, and I'm making this video mostly for beginners or people who never tried Tekken. This is from the perspective of someone who is not insanely good at the game, or even like good anyways. So that means I will not be talking about frame data or character combos or strings, nothing like that, like actual veterans of Tekken understand. This is mostly just for the beginners. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about like these four topics, mainly the game, just like general talk about how like game looks or sounds, basic stuff like that. I'm gonna talk about the online and what my experience was in like matchmaking. I'm gonna talk about the social on what I see is like doable, what I imagine, what I expect to happen. And I will also finish the video by talking about like what to do on preparing, maybe like Tekken 7, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put down the timestamps for all of these sections in case you want to just jump straight into any of them. Okay, so I'm gonna start by talking about the game. In my opinion, immediately right out the bat, the game sounds and feels better when playing. Like when you attack and like hits connect, like you don't hit the air. Let's say when the moves hit, even if you block or if they actually do damage, it sounds, in my opinion, way better, like overall than the other games. It looks better. It's visually amazing. Also, the characters also feel really good to play. It can, though, be a little bit hard on PCs because of the game requirements. So it is kind of like high up there on the PC requirements for like what a fighting game is. So if you're like more or less a little bit lower than that, chances are you might be losing a lot of frames, and that may impact your overall experience with the game, including online. I'll talk about that later. And about now Tekken 8, the way I see it, is gonna be for like someone who is like brand new or like who just started, is gonna be an even harder Tekken game to learn compared to every other game, just because of like there is even more mechanics added to the mix. However, at the same time, I also think this is gonna be the out of every like Tekken game, the easiest one for someone who never played a game like a Tekken game to get into. And that's mostly because of like the training mode and what they did to try and bring more people in. There is like way more tutorials, way more like more directions for like what you can do. The game gives you like some ideas of like, oh, this string, like this combo, you can do it when this happens. Like it kind of creates some situations in which like it suggests you what to do, like which combos to use. Also, on top of that, they also added a new like control scheme, which you can just like switch in and out whenever you want, like the modern mode, special mode, and you just press one button, and then it brings out like this box that it shows you like which buttons do what. When you do this online, by the way, you like as soon as you do, your opponent will also see that like the chat, the box popping up. And when you press a button on that, like the special mode, your opponent will also see what you're pressing. But overall, this modern system, like this modern control, I feel like it's gonna be really good for people who never played the game or who just started, which is basically the target for this video. Because like let's say you go to like a friend's house, and like there's like a group of friends there like grouping up, having a party, and then someone decided to put up like Tekken 8, like just to play like a quick group. You never played Tekken in your life. If this happens in any other game, you're just gonna mash buttons probably and like get completely destroyed. It's not gonna be like a lot of fun when you don't know what you're doing, right? But with this control scheme, with this special mode, even if you know nothing about the game, as long as you understand more or less like what is going on when you press like the like Y or triangle, for example, you can very easily grasp like and try and make strategies with just using those buttons. And your friends, yes, they will, if they are like really good at the game, they understand the fundamentals and like a lot of this stuff that like more advanced players talk about, they will be able to like stop you. However, if you had nothing, like if you did not have this kind of setup to begin with, it would just be mashing buttons and doing nothing anyway. And the best part is if you get two people who know nothing about the game, who are like brand new, and you put both of them against each other with this simple command, they will both be able to have fun, I imagine. They will, because they will both be doing things. They will both be doing like some like cool looking animations and combos and stuff. It's nothing advanced, it's like very simple stuff. It's even like very simple if you decide to turn it off and try to like learn like the characters, how to do these moves by yourself. You can very easily, like maybe in 10-15 minutes, you can learn and like do them by yourself without needing the new command system. However, yeah, it is still like overall a pretty good way to get into the game. Also, I've seen like some people talking about like, oh, but like there is this one move, for example, like there's an electric. It's a very like it's a pretty complicated move to do when you never play the game, or like at the very beginning. It's very complicated to do because it has like this like weird format, but like sequence of buttons you have to press. And as a beginner, you most often you probably like, huh, what? With this, you can press, with this command system, you press a single button and you do it. The thing is, like, if you are playing this against like your friends or like other people who are new to the game, it doesn't really matter that this like quote-unquote hard to do skill is like in a single button, because if you're playing against someone who is also new, you're more or less just gonna have fun. You can do stuff with the characters. If you're playing against someone who knows the game, so like if you're trying to go in a ranked ladder, for example, you can climb some ranks, but then like you're gonna cap very quickly on the ladder. Like very quickly you're gonna start finding people who know exactly like what the negatives are on what you're doing. They will just punish you. You're not gonna go far with this. And on top of that, yeah, I also do believe the game will be even better because they don't really have that now. Like maybe they do implement that in the future, because there is like also a menu in the practice mode called like a punishment training, but which we did not have access to it during the beta. So like I feel like one thing the game could be made to be even better for beginners would be to teach them how to like break grabs, like the throws, right? For example, telling them like what to look after on like an animation, maybe like, oh, if you see the opponent's hands going like both together, I don't know, something like just to give an idea for new players of like when a grab is gonna happen, and also tell them like what are they supposed to do to try and get out of that, to counter that. Now, talking about the online, first of all, the netcode, in my experience, the netcode was really good compared to even like Tekken 7, which was like it worked, but like you know, in Tekken 8, I feel like the netcode was like better. However, I do not have a Wi-Fi connection. I do not have a way to like play, because I played on PC and my PC doesn't have like a Wi-Fi board. I cannot try and play on Wi-Fi myself. So I did hear that in Wi-Fi the netcode is not really working as like one would expect. I would put it like that. But like in wired, in my experience, I played the game during the beta for like a little bit over 30 hours, and in all of those 30 hours I had like around 8 to 10 matches where like the game would actually like chug, the frame rate would drop maybe to like 20. I don't know, it was almost like I was playing the game in slow motion. About like 2 of them, the entire rounds would be like just in slow motion. It was like very bad. The other ones that was low, they were just like, the game is going fine, there's going fine. Okay, no, I'm fine, I'm just going to do it again. So I do not know if it was an issue with the netcode, or maybe it was an issue with the opponent's like PC. And I also don't remember if these matches that did lag, that did go slow motion, happen only against other PC players, or if it also happened with like against console players. Which, by the way, another good point about the online system, that is crossplay. So if you have a friend that to play with you, you don't need to both have the same console. You can play together, PC to PlayStation, Xbox and stuff. It would be really good. It's like a really cool thing. Oh yeah, don't quote me there. I'm not sure if like you can actually play on Xbox, but I imagine you can. With that said, I do think there is something wrong with the netcode when it is involving, like, when you're talking about the wireless, when you're playing on Wi-Fi. So I do hope like the devs, before the game launches, the devs do take a look into this, like, and try and figure out what was going on, because there are like there's too many reports of like people having bad experiences in the online. So I do not know if they solved because Wi-Fi, or there were also people having problems because like even on wire, like even on connected with a cable. Again, my experience on the online system, like, why do I say the netcode for me was like really good? Back in Tekken 7, I played like a few hours of games against a friend of mine, like a couple of friends, but this very specifically against a friend of mine that is in Spain. I'm from Brazil, so like look here, this is the distance that we were playing from, South America to Europe. In Tekken 7, the game would be constantly on slow motion. It's not like very, but like it was like I was playing like in 26 frames maybe, like per second. It was not good. Like, it's not like an issue with in Tekken 7. It was not a delay on like inputs. We didn't really feel delay on inputs. However, the game could not handle, I don't know what it was going on in Tekken 7, but the game could not handle our connection, like we playing together. It was pretty bad. In Tekken 8, during the beta, I played against this very same friend for about like 6 hours total, and apart from like one point that lasted for like 2 seconds, in which the frame rate did go down a bit and then came back to normal, the whole 6 hours were like straight up perfect. I don't think I have anything to like complain about. We are both playing on PC. We're both playing with cable, and my computer is like way better than his. My PC, I was playing with like higher graphics settings and stuff. He was playing on low graphics settings because otherwise his PC would not be able to handle the game, and we played pretty much perfect. Like the footage I'm playing here is like with both of us playing. You can see on the bottom there like the frame skipping and all that information if you like tech savvy. But like overall, it was, I don't know if I can say it feels like playing local, which, because I don't think that would be even possible, but it feels very close to it. It felt really good. So overall, based on the online, I would say I still recommend the game and like playing online, but if you're not playing on Wi-Fi, just because I cannot guarantee you will have a good time with that. As an example, here I tried pulling this one string here against my friend, who is again in Europe and I'm in South America, and just to see if like I could do it like normally, right? Just to show that like this could be done. And I also to try like and test like, oh, maybe input delay would probably stop this. No, I did it pretty easily. I mean, not easily because I'm bad at the game, but like I did it pretty like normally. Like everything connected, everything went fine. Like the last hit didn't go the same as the training mode did, just because like the walls, the map we did land up on, and like the position was kind of not long enough for it all to connect. But yeah, everything went just as it should. Great. Now to talk about the social aspect. What do you mean social? Well, that is in Tekken 8 now we have this place called like the lounge. It's just like a kind of big room where like players from anywhere in the world can connect you, depending like in which room they want to go into. And so it's just a social place. You go in there, you can see other players running around, you can see players like customizing their like the player characters, not like the playable characters. Like you can customize yourself, you can create your own character and to be in the social lounge. Overall, I don't think it is like the best lounge we've ever had in gaming, but like it does its job, I think, at least. Like it is something new in the Tekken series to have like this kind of place, right? To like for like players to get together to see each other, not as in like inside a fight, inside of a battle, or in, like just in the menu looking at each other's names. Like you can walk around. There's some cool stuff to look at. It looks pretty. It looks nice. There's a chat box. If you don't have a friend, like if you just decide like you wanna get into Tekken, but you don't have anyone to play with, you can come to one of these, and I imagine this place can work just like an MMO would, right? You come in, you open the chat box, you start chatting, you end up making new friends, like interacting with other people. I imagine there will be people like role playing inside these places, because that's usually what happens when you give people social areas. They usually do roleplay. Doesn't really matter much like which game it is, they end up doing it. You can like customize your character like even further after the first time you create it. You can change like the colors of the items. Like there's multiple different like color patterns that you can switch within a single item. Like if, for example, a pair of pants, you can change like every bit of piece of coloring inside of that. Overall, it looks good. It looks nice. However, the one complaint that I did have about this place was during the beta was that like the one way we had to fight against a friend was like this pair of machines, this duo, where it's like one machine like back to another one. That's like one pair of machines. If players sit on those, they will only matchmake against each other. So like it's a way that the one way we had to play against like friends to like test out. If we get more ways to play against friends to like after release, this not will be really much of a problem. Like maybe a little bit because of like the social aspect. Like maybe you meet someone new in the lobby and you decide like, yo, let's play together. You might need to keep like switching lobbies, trying to find a lobby with like an empty machine, so you can both sit together. But otherwise, the social, like the lounge area, it's pretty nice, pretty good. I hope though we can play when the game launches the Tekken Ball, which also uses the machine system. I hope we can play that without needing to go to the lounge, because like there are very few machines in here to play the game, and I really want to play that with friends. However, I don't want to keep switching like between lobbies, trying to find one lobby that has a machine like spot open. And now for my final thoughts, one thing that I constantly see people asking, like be it on like subreddits or like anywhere really, right? Tekken 7. Do I buy Tekken 7 to prepare for Tekken 8? In my opinion, considering like we're not that far from the release of Tekken 8, I would say only buy Tekken 7 if it's on sale. You have like you're just like excited and anxious, and you need to pick up the Tekken and start trying stuff right now. Or if you like have a friend to play with you already, or if you both like who is also gonna buy the game with you. Because if you go alone with this, like into Tekken 7, starting fresh right now is, I would say, is gonna be very bad. It's gonna be a horrible experience. Reasons for this are there is an insane amount of characters. Like there's a lot of characters to take like right out of the bat. There is a lot to learn. There is no like simplified button system where you can just like try out and see what the characters do on basic combos. The the training room is not really like that well made for like teaching new players how to play. It is like an incredibly good resource for like already like for Tekken veterans to like try out like new stuff, check their frame data and all of that, which I'm not gonna talk about. So if you're like never played Tekken and you don't really want to have like an overall bad experience, I would say do not buy Tekken 7. Also because if you don't have a friend to play with you, because if you have a friend to play Tekken 7 with you, that's perfectly fine. Go for it. You're probably gonna have a blast as well. Except for maybe if you're too far away because Netcode is not that great. However, if you do decide to play and go by yourself and like you decide to jump on rank, your experience will also be pretty bad there. A few of the reasons being like there are very few people that are playing Tekken 7 right now. So the amount of people you will be facing is gonna be very low. Also, there is a lot of people, because there is very like few people playing, who just like end up like just resetting their progress in the ladder, just resetting the game, and like starting afresh. So you never play Tekken. You go into your first ranked match, and there is a pretty big chance you're gonna find some fight against someone that is already a veteran, just because there is nobody playing on like on the higher rank that he is supposed to be playing at. And not only that, there's also people who keep like disconnecting, like as in like, oh, they see they're gonna lose to you, they just quit the game, like they just go back, they just quit. There's no penalty for them for doing that. So overall, I do not think it is a good idea to go into Tekken 7 right now. I feel like you are better off waiting for Tekken 8 and then just starting fresh with no experience straight into Tekken 8. I believe that the tutorials and the way that game is taught to you in Tekken 8 is better than in Tekken 7. And I feel like even though Tekken 8 is a harder game than Tekken 7 is, you will have a better experience in Tekken 8, just because the tutorial is better, the game is taught to you in a better way. There will be like a huge amount of people playing, so there is a really good chance you will fight against other beginners. So it will be both of you like not knowing what you're doing. It will be great, like fun everywhere, like oh look at him, oh he punched the air, you know, it will be like full of those. And because also the way they changed the ranked ladder, so instead of being like a death match as is in Tekken 7, where you can like replay in ranked against the same person 300 times if you want, in Tekken 8 you're always playing a best of 3. So you lost 2 matches, that's it, move on, next play. So it doesn't really create like this feeling of like you know, the anger of like toxicity that would come from like just being like end up like playing the same person again and again and again. You will always feel like fresh, and I believe you will, like everyone who is starting will have a better time just going straight into Tekken 8. And another thing that I do believe as well that is like kinda bad, or was kinda bad during the beta on the social side, is that the 2 machines for you to fight against your friend, they are like on best of 3. So instead of just letting us like rematch like as many times as we want, and then like, oh, we rematch, like we play like 15 rounds, let's switch the map now to see like what's up. No, you're always forced to play a best of 3, even though it's not like a ranked ladder. It's not like a competitive, it's just like a friendly casual match. I think that is kind of weird. I would be better off with that not being the case in there. Okay, and my final note before I close the video, if you are unsure about like anything, if your PC will handle the game, if the game will come out like in a poor optimization, if the online will be crashing, because you know, game release, a lot of people coming in, maybe the servers break, I don't know, maybe it's like unplayable for a week. There's a lot that could go wrong, right? If you only have wireless, only have Wi-Fi to play, you only play on console, and that's all you have, wireless, and you don't know if it's gonna be a good experience for you because of like how everybody, not everybody, like a lot of people have been reporting problems with Wi-Fi, I would recommend, like any issue, like any worries you may have, I recommend you to not pre-order the game and like give it like 1-2 days, see what happens, see what the streamers say, see what the internet says, like you know, let the other people who go through like what could be worrying you, so that you save yourself from like being pissed, you know, with, like in case anything goes wrong. So yeah, this is my video. As I said in the beginning, this is mostly towards like beginners. If you are like a veteran of Tekken, I don't think there is anything here that would be of like a good new information for you. But anyways, you can like leave a comment down below. I'll be reading comments for a really long time, like what anyone thinks about this. And yeah, bye bye until next time I decide to make a video.